Continuing on with our face.
What I'll start to do is, okay, first I'm going to insert an edge here on this lower one. Insert a vertex, sorry. So just selecting edge mode and hitting insert vertex and clicking there. Then I'm going to grab the top three and extrude down. And using my target weld, I'm going to weld these to the lower vertices. Okay, so if I look at the side, just cut off the top of a nose. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab these edges here and hit connect. And in the side view, go into X-ray view again, and we'll pull these out to sit just at the top of the nose here. This one sits back at the back of the nostril. This one will sit at the top like this. And I'll move these on a bit of an angle. And in the front view, we'll just shape, so maybe that down a bit. So we're just shaping the outline of the nose. Okay. Now I'll go into polygon mode, I'll grab cut, and I'll go from here to about the middle of these edges, and then I'll turn my cut off. I'll bring these forward to sit at the tip of the nose. Now I'm going to rotate this viewport slightly. So just holding Alt and the middle mouse button. I'm going to select these edges here and connecting those to help flesh out the nostril. So just welding that up to the vertex next to it. And back in front view, I'm going to pull this out. So just pull this out a bit more. There we go. So just shaping the nose. I'm going to rotate the viewport again so I can get to the top edges here. I'm going to, using polygon, I'm going to cut just across this top. And then another one from this triangle here, from the middle of this triangle, down and around underneath the nose. So go into the front again, and I'm just going to shape this a little bit. It's just widening the tip of the nose to follow the image plane. And adjusting the fall from the nose into the philtrum. So I know we have an engong here, so we'll fix that later, but for now we're just focusing on the overall shape of the nose. We can put our Turbo Smooth back on, see how that's looking. So yeah, it's getting quite a nice shape to it, and it's following our concept rather nicely. Okay, so I'll go back into X-ray and front, and we'll start to shape the actual nostril. Bring this up a little bit this side, round this out. Okay. So I'm going to grab these three edges and connect them. And then I'll grab these two and connect those as well. Then I'll connect this vertex up with the corner there. And I'll do the same on this. Connect those two edges there. So we're just creating a shape for the whole of our nose. Just pulling this back and shaping this a little bit better before we extrude the whole. So I'm just checking from the front how that looks. I'm going to just round out this a little bit to help shape the nose, give the nose a bit of shape. She does have quite a sharp nose on her. I'll bring that back in a little bit. Might round this down a bit. Just give it a bit of fall off. So just continuing to tweak the shape of the nose. Before I extrude, I'm also going to grab my polygon, and I'm going to get rid of this engong by cutting here and here. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab these faces. I'll go to extrude, no, sorry, let's go bevel, and we'll zero these all out. I'm going to move this so we can see what we're doing. So just clicking on the black and dragging it to the side. And now I can start to extrude this into the head and then bringing it in, so tapering it in, and then I'll hit OK and move this into position a bit better a position. Okay, so I think that's coming along nicely. We may need to shape this a little, bring this up a little bit, just to round this out a little. I'll dip this down a little, just to give the nose a little bit more shape. So just checking again, make sure the shadows are playing nicely and our shape is looking like a nose. So yep, I'm pretty happy with that. We can move on to closing the mouth now. Grab this, the inside loop here, so just double clicking on that edge to get the loop. Go to scale and holding shift, I'm going to pull down in the Y. Just scale down in the Y. So make sure you release shift to continue the scale, otherwise you'll drag out a new edge and you don't want that. So we want them to touch. Now we can go in and we can shape our lips. So just pulling these in. Now for the bottom lip, we want it to, for the lip, if I bring up this Google search that I've done, so it's just female lips, you can see that the bottom lip actually curls up underneath the top. So it comes in and it curves up underneath the top lip here. So everybody's, all different shapes again, but everybody's does the same. So it comes in underneath the top lip. So this is what we're going to do to mimic. So the top lip will come down and the bottom lip will curve up underneath. So I'm just curving these in, pointing these in towards the center, and then I'll go to the left viewport and I'll make them match the silhouette. So just into the orthographic view so we can see how this is all shaping out. So just continuing to shape and tweak the vert. I'm just going to bring this in closer to the mouth, this edge. So just to create the little dip or crease or whatever you want to call it at the edge of the mouth where it folds. And I'm going to constrain this one to the edge, and I'm going to bring it closer to the lip if I can get it to do what it's supposed to do. Just closer to the lip, so this will help us create an edge around the lip. So if we look again at our reference, you can see the edge between the lip and the skin. So this is what that edge is doing. And again, if I take the edge off, and I'll just pull it back ever so slightly, just to help define the edge of the lip. So it will lessen as we get it closer to the corner of the mouth. Go back to the front just by hitting F on the keyboard. And bring this one forward. So we don't want the edge to be the same as defined on the bottom of the lip as we do on the top. Just going back now that I've adjusted some of these loops and readjusting some of these to better follow the lines of the face. And I'll move back to the lips now. Okay, so but moving on, we'll grab this edge here and we'll hit ring, and we'll connect these together to create another edge loop, and then we can round off our lip shape, give her nice full lips. So I bring this out and down to match the silhouette of the image plane there. Bring this forward for the bottom lip. And again, just pulling these in to go underneath the lip. So just pulling these down a little, and I'll pull these back to create the fold at the corner of the mouth. I'm just exaggerating it a little bit, since this character is a stylized character. I'm not going for a realistic look. Just bring these forward for the muscle group that's there. So bring back zygote body. You can see this muscle here at the side of the mouth. As we come down, it bulges out at the side, creates a little, I guess, pouch looking thing. You don't want to exaggerate it too much, because she's quite young and supposed to be pretty, but you do need to put it in there. So bringing these forward just a little bit, just so we can get that little bulge at the side of the mouth. So I'm going to bring back my silhouette, my symmetry, to see how we're looking. Might even put the turbo on to see how the lips are coming together. You can see that little dimple fold that I was trying to put in there at the side. And bring these down a little bit more to exaggerate the edge of the mouth. She's starting to look like our image plane. Gonna bring back my concept here. I'm gonna have a look and see how it's looking compared to that. Need to flatten off the area here, I think, a little bit. We'll do that by grabbing these vertices here. So just selecting and I'm going to go up to soft selection, which is at the top, and hit use soft selection, and you can see all the vertices become different colors. Now this is to indicate how much influence, when I move these vertices, the rest of them will move. So we want to bring the fall off down, because we don't want to affect the entire head. We just want to affect just the areas around the vertices that I just selected. So grab maybe like that, and we'll shift it forward. Just to lessen the fall off, and to make it a little bit more like our concept, so it's more of a flat shape between the nose and the mouth here. and down through there. That's better. Or at least it's closer to what we want. So I'll turn off soft selection now, and I can go in and I can tweak this a little bit more. I'll bring this forward for that muscle at the side of the mouth again. And this one to get rid of that shadow that was developing. We can start to flatten these and bring these up. So you can see we start with our image plane, and as we build our 3D model, we have to reevaluate some of the areas to make sure that it'll fit. It looks like our final concept. Some things don't always translate that well from 2D to 3D, so that's why we always have to reevaluate and have a look, make sure everything is looking how we expected or how we wanted it to when we first concepted our character, and making sure that it still sits with the style. I think I'm pretty much happy with that for now. So I'm going to finish off this mouth, we just turn off the symmetry. Show end results, sorry. We're going to need to create an inner mouth. So somewhere where we can put our teeth and our tongue. And when she opens her mouth, it doesn't open into the back of her head. Because the way that engines will view it, it culls the back face polys. So if she opens her mouth now, it'll view into nothing. You'll probably see the environment through the back of her head. So we're going to extrude into our mouth. Again, with the scale, we're going to, just going to pull it apart. Alright, so what we'll do is we need to separate these, so we'll just grab these edges here and we'll pull up, and we'll grab these ones and pull down. So this is going to be the inner mouth. We'll shape these a little bit. So we'll bring these ones closer into, we don't want to be too close because we don't want it to clip through the head when we start to open and close our mouth, but it needs to be close enough that it looks like a roll from the lip into the mouth. You can even bring these down a bit, I think. And forward. It's a bit more like that. I'm going to actually continue this one down a little bit first. So I'm going to bring this edge down so it helps with the roll of the lip, the top lip into the inside of the mouth. I'll do the same with the bottom lip, so I'll bring it up slightly before extruding again back and creating the mouth sock or whatever you want to call it, the inside. So just up above this vertex a little bit, and we'll leave these two as they are for now anyway. If we have to, we can come back in and adjust it later. So make sure these don't move off the X. And again, we'll grab the edge loop, and we'll extrude. This time it's easier to do this by the edge. Grab these ones, and since these are for the top, these ones will be moving all the way up, and these ones will be moving all the way down because it's the bottom lip. And we can start to create the inner mouth, so where the teeth will sit and where the tongue will sit. So bring this right down, not too close, because when she starts to animate, we don't want to have the inside of her mouth clipping through her face. That's just an unappealing look. But they still need to come up far enough so that you can get the teeth close enough to the lips. The lips will actually sit on the teeth. And making sure we keep the shape as rounded as possible. So we don't need much geometry for the inside of the mouth. Because it's not going to be seen. Well, not that often anyway. Let's grab the edge loop again, pull it back. We can start to simplify this a bit, so I'm going to grab that one, grab this one, and there we go, those two, and I'm going to hit collapse. Which is under the edit geometry. So like I said before, we don't need much geo here. I'm just going to collapse on that ring as well. We just need enough to hold our teeth and our tongue. Just having a look and see what this shape is looking like in the side viewport, and just rounding some of these out. So just grabbing the edge again, extrude once more. And scale that down. Just holding shift and extrude to extrude, sorry. And then I'm going to close this off by just grabbing the vertices and increasing the weld threshold. So just that one, and these ones here, and we'll do these three together and hit OK. Then we'll just continue to round off and the shape a little bit more. Now we'll create the teeth and the tongue at a later date, but for now we just want to create a place that we can hold them in. And almost there. And just rounding the shape off a little bit. Okay. So now if we turn this back on, so you won't see it obviously from the front of the face until she opens her mouth, but then we have somewhere for her teeth and her tongue to sit in. Might actually, now I think about bringing this further out, so that when she smiles, we have enough room to give her a nice big smile. So pull this right out. Again, we don't want it to intersect with the cheek when she starts to talk and all of and to actually move, but we do need enough room for her to smile and to open her mouth and these sorts of things. So just lifting it up a little bit. And then just checking the front to see if we can see inside the mouth. And to close the gap wherever I can see a problem. Or lessen it at any rate. Okay, excellent.